5 games remaining until we will know exactly which 10 teams will be making it on through to Contenders Phase 3. I'm Toby, I'm joined by Imperium, and we have got 5 more matches on Miramar to bring to you guys today. And, well, as you said just in the break there, Cormac, simple. They have not had a good start so far, so they're second place. That's a really good one for them.
It is, and as far as I know, correct me if I'm wrong, but they were last place through after every single game so far. But with that second place, they've jumped up to 14th place. Now, it's a step by step, right? They still have to follow up with another strong performance after another strong performance, but it does put them closer to that 10th place spot because they're on 34 points, and Inside Games, who are holding on to 10th, have 42 points.
Exactly. It's very doable for these guys to make their way in. But of course, it's not easy, and there's plenty more PUBG to be played before they will, before they will find out if they're in or not. This plane, though, far down south, and we know that sometimes opts for interesting games because no one is north of St. Martin so far.
Yeah, we do see Airwaves just being split up towards Los Leones. YMCA are just behind it. Interesting to see what this first circle is going to be. It's quite central. This is normal.
Yeah.
Okay, this is going to be nice for these teams, I feel, Toby.
Pretty straightforward circle for everything considered. I mean, Picado's pretty much dead in the center. And, as we see, as always, the looting phase has begun. It's gonna be, I think, pretty quiet for the most part. We did see some players shoot in the sky towards players in parachutes, but I don't think a whole lot is gonna come off of that. And then, I mean, even rotation-wise, should be plenty of room for teams to go too early on.
You are absolutely dead right. That's the first thing I was thinking. I know we're gonna have a hard shift at some point, right? It might be phase 2, it might be phase 3, it could be both together. But for this phase 1, it is going to be very quiet, very passive indeed, because most teams are inside the circle, and if they're not inside the circle, they're very close to it.
We'll have to hope that, I mean, that's the thing, right? Because now we look at the circle and we say, okay, well, technically, there's plenty of room for everyone, and it should be very doable for these guys to find somewhere. And somehow, I don't know how it works, but somehow that tends to be the games where you lose 20 players in the first 5 minutes. That's not true, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Where like somehow when there's so much available, that's when everybody starts jumping on top of one another.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, okay, well, we're in the circle. We don't technically have to reposition. Let's look to fight. Let's look to frag out, so to speak, especially because they would have maybe looted up a bit quicker than previous games and bit quicker than moments where they have to reposition early. They can stay in those compounds, stay in those buildings with that extra security, and then look to expose a couple of their opponents. But Inside Games, they occupy Picado all by themselves.
Yeah, and I think it's that what you're saying, and also combined with the fact that when you notice, oh, everything is open, that's when everybody start going for those same kind of priority compounds in quotation mark. Like everybody, there's always, when you see a certain circle, sure, this early on in the game, there is so much available that it doesn't matter that much, but there's always certain compounds in certain circles that are better, like purely position-wise than others are. And if you're a center team or a team that likes to go for a compound early on, well, I mean, if it looks clear, you might want to go for it. But then if 3 teams are doing the exact same thing, it's not always easy just to back out.
Yeah, you're dead right. And hey, look, again, kind of echo what I said in the previous game. At the end of the day, these players want to frag out. They want to kill their opponents. So if they get the chance, they will. But Manny got knocked down on the side of Inside Games, a lone wolf, and he gets taken out.
Interesting to me that he was all the way down there. He's 4AK there up in San Martin, and I think he was the one trying to drive further down and get himself a compound for the team for later. But, well, didn't really work out the way that he would have wanted it to.
And I don't disagree with that, as you know my personal kind of opinion on scouts. But when the circle's so central, I can't help but think and kind of go, do you really need to kind of scout? Is it really worthwhile? And I don't think it was in that situation. But whenever eXtatus looking for MJ-Esports, Juno does get fragged out from doubles. That's going to be a kill going over to eXtatus. And considering they finished this first game with 0 points to start this game 2, with a point on their side already, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world.
No, not at all. I mean, of course, they were eXtatus. They come off pretty purely in the first game today, and that's the thing, right? It wasn't even because the idea of what they did was that bad. It was just an execution thing, and the fact that, as we said in the game previously, they didn't seem to really have a backup plan in case what they wanted to do didn't work. So arguably they took a bit too much time. Futbolist came in and third-partied, and it kind of screwed them over. So I'm looking to see them maybe be a little more quick on the executions, whatever they decide to do here.
Exactly. You know, when you make a decision as in-game leader, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're absolutely fantastic. You know, you got to have that backup plan, but you've also got to be able to execute that first plan as quickly as possible. If it doesn't work out, you turn around and you go, okay, let's go for plan B, so to speak. Let's, you know, go towards this position so we can look to survive as quickly as possible. But sometimes it's just not going to go your way. As PKD, they're looking for 3D max in the distance.
Yeah, it seems like both Phantom and Wacko have found themselves a compound to chill in. Wacko is not satisfied. He wants to find himself a new one. Or maybe he just came over to drop a little bit of loot. That could be the case as well. Come over and share the loot. One guy that's not going to share a whole lot of stratus. He's going to go down. And once again, it's Huth who's the damage dealer. I mean, he has been the one to, well, not necessarily take the heavy load, but when it comes to Futbolist and seeing them at least yesterday and today in the kill feed, he was the main man when it came to shooting.
Yeah, he definitely was. All the Futbolists, especially in that previous game, did do and put in the work, but you're dead right in moments in the likes of previous day where they haven't necessarily performed well. Huth has still stood out as someone who's not afraid to get a knockdown, to get a frag when they get a chance, and hopefully add to their points overall. But huge potential. MilkyWay, GR Hawk, is looking for them.
See that they know exactly where they are. It's just a matter of whether they actually want to take this engagement or not.
Oh my. I don't think he wants to now.
Nope, backing off, and no. Don't want to over repeat that one when there's 4 weapons pointing his direction.
Yeah, no. Don't look, don't touch. But either way, the good thing for huge potential is they are kind of spread out, so they do kind of, as we know, they do have a couple of areas covered, a couple of angles on their side because MilkyWay have kind of realized this. So they're being a bit more careful. They're making sure they do have their own level of cover outside of the kind of inside those dips, inside those little kind of crevices that they kind of cover behind as they look to peek up. So they're playing a little bit safer than I think they initially thought they could.
I mean, I don't think they want, because whenever they go up, when you peek over, and that's where it becomes so difficult, and it really is skill to be good at fighting the terrain here. Whenever you peek up, if you're too far up and you get knocked, they will get to flush you before you crawl back down again. So you need to always like dodge and weave over those ledges, and if you do get knocked, make sure that you fall back down the hill again.
Exactly. So I think that was a wise choice from MilkyWay, just to disperse from that potential action. Plus, when they're inside the circle, okay, they're doing great overall. But again, you got to ask, is it worth it? Is it really worthwhile if we're not going to secure it? And no, it wasn't. So they do back off. PKD currently lying in 12th place, dropped a bit down compared to what we saw them previously 2 spots. So they need to climb back up if they want to secure Phase 3 contenders.
Circle pop and see if PKD can get themselves into a good spot. Yeah, pretty decent spot. The only issue here could be for teams that are sitting on the southern side of Picado right now. If it does go north once again up towards Power Grid, that uphill climb from Picado up the ridgeline there could be the death of a lot of teams trying to make their rotations in that direction.
Yeah, and even though the Phase 2, circle shift wasn't really as extreme as I was kind of thinking, you were absolutely dead right about that. And there's no doubt that Phase 3 is going to have a bit more of an extreme shift as Airwaves, huge potential. Let's see what Dominic and Amorous can do.
Yeah, Airwaves had a pretty good showing kill-wise last game. Of course, they want to repeat that this time around. They were in the kill feed in the mid and end phases of the game for quite a while there, but then all of a sudden things fell apart. Eot, he's going to find himself knocked. Amorous is the one to take him down. Oh, vaulting through! Almost costing Eller his life, but fortunately, Staying put.
Yeah, and then we did see Powerful fire off towards SEEKORG. In the distance, they got one frag for themselves, but we still have 60 players alive. Still 16 teams as that revive has come through, keeping huge potential alive for the time being.
Dovnik is gonna try and look behind them. They know that you're never safe anywhere on this map, especially not when you're down in those dips in the open. Fortunately, they do have their 2-2 splitted teammates over on the other side to grant them some sort of assistance should it be needed. But for now, Amorous and Sadovnik, they are all alone.
And there's also Enviik somewhat close by that will be hearing those shots in some way, so we'll be aware of what's going on in that direction. We do see 4 Kings Phosphor getting knocked down on the Barlos in the kill feed. Let's see if that can be secured with a frag. He's just trying to make his way down the hill, losing health little by little.
Barlos is all by himself, but as you can see in the minimap there, Philo is indeed making his way up in his direction. But at the same time, 4 Kings, they're committing on this. They got the knock and they're pushing forward.
Well, I think they would have seen in the kill feed previously that SEEKORG had lost one of their players. So even if, you know, even if they kind of join to try and keep Barlos up, it's going to be somewhat of a 3v3 or 3v2 fight. So they're looking to fight on to that right now. As we are into the 11.5-minute mark, the phase 2 is closing in. We're soon going to have the circle of phase 3 show up in the next minute or so as PKD. They do spot out Simply Simple in the distance. It's still a 4v2 for them.
Barlos didn't get back up on his feet yet, and now Grishka is coming pushing over. I don't think Philo hears the steps just yet, but with the smoke thrown, Grishka is well aware that there's more people in the area.
Yeah, but he's kind of taking his time. He does have the high ground. He gets a knockdown onto Philo. What is the third member from SEEKORG gonna do? I think he's just gonna turn around and go, no, I'm not joining in that. I'm on my own. Sorry about that, guys.
Not even close to them and can't really do anything to help. But Grishka, too busy looting, losing phosphor and all of that, and he's gonna get flushed immediately. No help is gonna come in. And now let's see where we do get that shift. Is it power grid? Potentially. It's still gonna keep a 50 split between the lower lands and the mountains.
I'm a little bit disappointed. It's not as much of a hard shift as I thought. You know, I like to annoy the teams. I like to make them feel a little bit pissed off and as if the whole world is against them. So not as much of a shift as I thought, but it's still somewhat central, as you point out. Power grid is still in there. Picano is still somewhat occupied, and Simply Simple are holding strong where they are in that 2-2 split.
I'm interested in seeing who or if any teams are going to commit to the push down towards either one of the 2 3D Max compounds. They're in a position right now that they can still disengage, but if you're good and your 4-man team crashing on forward, you could potentially get yourself into a 4v2 engagement against one of them.
Yeah, but I suppose it's the fact that, do they know that? Do they know how many of 3D Max are in there? Or should it matter, right? Should it really matter? If you're going to look to crash a compound as a 4-man team, you've got to be confident that doesn't matter how many people are there, that you're going to be able to win that fight. You're going to be able to get that job done. So, I suppose from that point of view, as Futbolist mocking Jay inside the vehicle, is he going to turn it over? Oh, man, feels bad, man. Feels bad.
That's unfortunate, but of course, I mean, you never know where a little rock comes out of nowhere every now and again. And well, fortunately, they were on the edge of the circle, so it's not the biggest steal, but. Well, one guy that is in a bit more trouble here seems like to be Sampuda.
Yeah, huge potential holding on to the edge of the circle. Enviik are close by, so I think huge potential. If they have not heard those shots, which most potentially they have, they've got to be careful as well and being too far out in the open, because Enviik have the compound, so they can just fire off at any single person that they see.
Salters knows now that the cavalry has arrived. The only issue is going to be for YMCA that this is pretty much the only way they can go. They need to push forward, and as you can see, Salters cannot keep peeking them. They need to allow for YMCA to push forward in order for them to be able to disengage.
Yeah, but look at Alrian. He actually positioned around to try and get that flank off. However, Turbo Banani has spotted it out. So even though Huge Potential are doing their best to pinch YMCA, they're kind of feeling a bit of heat in their own way. So they definitely got to be a bit careful. But credit where credit is due to them, especially Alrian, taking that situation and turning it in the favor of Huge Potential as much as possible.
Salters Still alive and kicking on this side. Futbolist in the meantime found themselves Airwaves skin, so it's gonna get taken down. Not a whole lot more to it. It was them rotating and he gets caught up in it.
Yeah, the issue is that, okay, Alrian is actually repositioning once again, maybe realizing it's not going to quite work out, plus the fact that the blue zone is closing in, so Huge Potential can get inside that circle. GR Hawk, you're kind of on your own a bit, mate. Maybe that's not the best position to be in, but let's see how it does survive. However, the circle does show up for these teams.
See, the shift goes south, and that's going to mean that all the guys that are up the hill need to get down it somehow. Huge Potential still in the engagement here with YMCA, and Salters gets himself one, but as we can see, 3D Max charming in from the side too, and now I think it's just SEEKORG left alive.
That's what Huge Potential. Oh my god, that grenade coming out from Enviik. I said they were in the distance, and now they're looking to join in the fun because they have the circle all on the edge by themselves. However, as you pointed out, 3D Max are also looking to join in some of the fun as they hold a circle.
16th place for YMCA, not a whole lot more they could do, unfortunately for them. 0-point game for the gang that, well, coming off of the first day, got themselves 3 wins in 4 games.
Oh man, eXtatus has found critical power. That's going to be a kill coming out for them. Futbolists do get eliminated in 15th place for them, as 4 Kings are eliminated in 14th place. Teams are dropping like flies.
Chaos commencing and everyone trying to stay alive. eXtatus, they just got torn apart trying to get down this hill. Furax, he's going to go down and double all of a sudden by himself.
That's what I love about these circle shifts, right? That's what I love about it. That's what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's very enjoyable.
The sadistic side of me is really loving this right now.
He said sarcastically. You are a sadistic man. I told you and James the same things. You rude content hunters.
But now 2 members of MilkyWay, they occupy the hut. They're definitely they're a tiny bit pinched. But there's definitely a chance that they could get out of that situation. They just got to wait, try and find the right moment. As Airwaves, I believe, as a 3-man team, maybe. No, it's actually a 4-man team, still full squad, looking for last crew. Inside Games, securing knockdowns and frags onto MJ.
You mean it running into safety, or at least trying to do just that? Playing it safer now. Ghostar getting himself some damage done in the distance. Ooh. Multiple kills coming in. Unfortunately, we don't really get that angle on it. Salters gets himself finished off as well. Phase kill did get confirmed in the end of things. And Enviik now as well from a distance on the other side here. Well, they might have to cross that road eventually. And as you can see, the remaining players from Huge Potential, they're waiting for it.
Yeah, now we see last crew. They're pinched by both SS and Airwaves, and they do not really find themselves in the strongest position right now. As we do see Solar, 3D Max, they're also getting a couple of frags off on this side. The last crew suddenly find themselves in a painful situation.
Yeah, Mac can try to throw some nade on forwards. Didn't really work out the way that Huda wanted it. Fortunately, though, they all managed to stay alive. He had to back off, though, as shots were coming in now from Enviik as well.
Oh man, 3 or 4 teams just spotting each other out. Japan has done well to survive. 3D, they hold a couple of little buildings, that compound as well, although it is a 2-2 split. It's working very well for them because whatever this shift is, they have 2 members that are definitely most likely going to be inside it. Let's see what this circle is. All of them are inside it.
And that's pretty center shift, a donut shift, yeah. I guess you can say, as center as they possibly get here. And well, I mean, 3D Max are gonna be in, and they need to get the hell out of, well, one of the compounds now, and obviously the western one would be the better one, considering that it's in the center of the circle. Phantom already driving. Wago needs to run as well.
GR Hulk gets a couple of shots off on to one member of Enviik, hopefully giving him a chance to reposition, as we saw one member of Huge Potential being fragged out once again. I think that's 2 members left for Huge Potential, maybe 1. Not quite sure.
Yeah, I think it's only Hulk who's alive.
Yeah, now he's running into a bath of inside games who are a 4-man squad, but 3 of them are in that building.
Yeah, and I don't think they're really going to commit to pushing on over right now. They know that if they do anything of the sort and they get just one player knocked, there's going to be other teams hunting for that compound, and they're going to run straight into it to take the third-party opportunity. So I think they're just gonna commit to staying on the side that they are in now.
But then again, it's a bit risky for all 4 players to be inside that one building. So it might be worthwhile to just push that final player so they can occupy both of those buildings to keep themselves alive. But either way, 11 teams, 33 players left.
Somehow in all of this, 3D Max has managed to live 20.5 minutes without getting breached in any of the positions that they've been in. They have been split a little thinly, arguably in a decent split where they could cover each other, but with so many teams trying to fight for compounds, it's difficult. Of course, with everyone climbing the edges, it just makes it even harder.
It is. Now we've seen Ghost Star and Norca's done absolutely well to survive against PKD. Although there's no surprise considering how strong, powerful have looked, and now the cavalry from the side of Marcelic and Morpheus looking to join in on the fun, hold that better angle to try and get those knockdowns and those frags on the PKD.
Well, I mean, they need the help though, and not Ghost Star finally does get himself a knock. They need the help if they want to cross the road. You can see many eyes are looking in their direction. And, well, I mean, they're not having the easiest time ever. Hawk is going to throw a nade forward. Blows off a little too short, unfortunately. Hawk. The other Hawk. It's like Hawk. We got Hawk cam right now. That's interesting.
There's 3 Hawks, I believe.
3 Hawks. There's Hawky Hawk and GR Hawk. Yeah, exactly. Plenty of Hawks on our screen. Set up like that. It's going to be a nade to the chest. He's going to go down. And, I mean, Jabby and Silas.
I'm kind of surprised that Amherst isn't maybe being a bit more aggressive, because I don't think Lasker are maybe 100% sure that he's there, so he could maybe push a little bit more aggressively. He could get the frag and the squad wipe onto last crew, but maybe he's just biding his time as we are onto the side of 3D Max Vago, holding those compounds, now joining forces as a 4-man team.
I was just commenting on that Silas. I figured I hadn't seen him play with last crew previously, but I think he's standing in on the team today for one of the other players. I was like, huh, Silas is playing this game. I wasn't aware of that, but he indeed is still alive alongside Jabby, great talented young player with a bright future in esports.
Yeah, and that's what, you know, sometimes we might not talk about it enough. This is the stepping stone to get to that pro level. It's a stepping stone to really prove yourself, to get to the highest grounds that they can. Huge potential. They're not going to make it in this game, as they do get eliminated in 10th place. 9 teams, 27 players left alive.
Hawk is still up, Amherst is as well, and you can see now that last crew, well, this push might prove to be too much for them to really come into. Jabby, he's gonna commit to the rest. A pan was hit there, I believe, and fights are escalating everywhere on the map. Enviik gone down, MilkyWay eliminated as well. Ghost Star is gonna go down, that's from up close. Sam Peak pushed around the corner. Norgi is there to get the trade-off in return, though, and powerful. 6 kills already, trying to get themselves some more.
They've got to pull their way through right now as last crew do get eliminated in 7th place. 6 teams left. Senix on the side of inside games with Ostravalik. He's low in health. He's gonna go down after getting knocked down. So that's another frag, another kill going over to the side of Powerful. The inside game's down to 1 player surrounded by Powerful and the blue zone.
Marcelo is trying to hold the angle. He knows there's one more player somewhere. It's just a matter of finding him, and he spots him, but he's not going to be able to get the flash in immediately. Does get finished off in the end, though. Now well, I mean, they can't just overcommit to this rush. You can see Morpheus just looking around while westing here, trying to make sure that nothing's happening. And Powerful, well, we keep talking about it. They can have 0-point games, but they can also easily pull off the double-digit kill games.
Oh my lord, they just are on fire when it comes to kills. Simply simple. Lyron is a bit on his own, taking shots from Airwaves, who still survived so long in this game. They've been put under pressure by a couple of teams, but they've kept themselves going. But they do have to cross the road, right? They have to try and expose the compound of Simply Simple. They need to try and make their way through. They're going to use a couple of frag grenades to at least try and survive, but being counter-fragged does push them off a little bit.
We'll see now. Next circle is gonna pop. It's gonna go a bit north, so up towards the PKD players who have managed to find themselves alive still. Giannis and his teammate Marcus trying to stay put up there. 3 crates up and available in the center of things, but who's gonna get to them? Simply Simple, they're still alive as well. I mean, as live as you can possibly want to be. Gavir is up in the mix, and then you got Sean. And oh, did he spot him? I think Megan saw him, but he saw him as well, and Sean is gonna turn around and get him down.
How did he not see? How did Mackin not see Zion jumping out the window? Oh, feels bad, man. But either way, that's gonna be Frag being secured. Zion, can he possibly help get that squad right to keep themselves in it? And yes, they do. Even though the knockdown came down, Airwaves get eliminated in 5th place.
Great play. I think Mackin did see him. He just couldn't get the gun out in time when he saw him on the other side of the smoke. That's unfortunate. Masalek, well, he's gonna pick himself up a AUG. Nifty weapon, and of course the level 3 gear coming with it is going to be very useful in the late game of this. Could be one of those crazy good wins for Powerful.
I have no doubt if there's a team that can pull out a crazy win, it is Powerful. We've seen them get 17 kills in a game yesterday, but didn't get the chicken dinner. The most points we've had in a game is 27, secured by Airwaves. So let's see if Powerful can look to replicate, if not beat that, as they're currently on 10 kills for now.
Looks like he's going to try and push for the forward, but they completely missed Giannis, and he's going to turn around. Unfortunately, Nogi does find him, but Morpheus gone down. No one else being around. That shouldn't up for the worst scenario for them. Mazik, he's just gone harvesting now.
Yeah, now 3D Max, they've kept fairly quiet, but now they're going to look to join in. They're going to look to possibly push forward. They know that there's been a couple of knockdowns on the side of Powerful. They know that they're weak on resources. They're weak essentially on kind of being able to push forward themselves, and they are out in the open. However, 3 teams, 9 players alive, and as there are 3 players per team as we're hitting the 27-minute mark.
13 kills already for the gang of Powerful, and they sure are looking to get themselves some more and potentially win with it too. But as you said, Imperium, there's still 4 guys strong in 3D Max who are trying to make sure that they indeed will take the win before Powerful does. 3v4 v, well, potentially 1 or 0. Make that a 3v4 in total. It's going to be hard. It's going to be Powerful with the circle. They have the level 3 gear as well, but 3D Max have the numbers.
That's actually good for Powerful though, right? Because Simply Simple got eliminated, they don't need to worry about, so to speak, extra people or extra angles other than what their opponents have on their side. And it's only 3v4. We've seen Powerful pull out absolutely tremendous plays, even as a 1 or 2 man squad, but 3D Max looking strong. They're looking confident. As I said, they have the resources, they have the smoke grenades that they've built up, that they've collected in their time on this map, as Powerful just gonna separate, hold angles on their own.
Powerful has been fighting in the open for quite a while. That, of course, has taken a bit of a dent on their Kevlar utility. But for the most part, they did manage to get some upgrades. So that's, of course, all good and fun. And Powerful, fortunately, pushing on forward. Now, I like to see this from Mars. Like, you need to go aggressive here. You need to go up and take control.
Yeah, now Fanon's going to be able to use the loot crate as a bit of extra protection. It's always going to be a benefit. Noki does spot out because the smoke grenades came out towards where Marcelic is. Smoke grenades are flying for these teams, especially Powerful. They're just looking for an extra level of safety as Noki gets knocked down by Norcus.
This could be a crazy high kill game for them. 14 kills potentially in a win here, should they be able to finish all the players off. Solar and Phantom still alive. Phantom does get one, Norki does go down. Marslik is trying to hold the angle from afar. Solar spots him out, not able to get the knock. No, Marslik is there to find him, and that is going to be it. 17 kills and yet a win for Powerful. Not just a win, but a one with 27 points in total.
I told you, if any team could do it, if any team can make a 3v4 turnaround in their favor, it's Powerful. They held the angles, they held their own, they used whatever smoke grenades they had left in their favor. They got that first knockdown. Yes, return knockdowns came out, but they done all the damage they needed. They put 3D Max down to 2 players.
I feel like
and they just ended it.
The smokes that 3D Max threw early on kind of became a more of a became more of a disruption to themselves than an advantage, because whenever they throw that whole layer of smoke, sure, it means that the other guys can't spot you, but it also means that you have no idea what's going on the other side, and they have to push through them. So what Powerful could do, as we saw with Marslik pushing up as well, they could just line them up. So, well, whenever they come through the smokes, or whenever the smokes disappear, we're going to start shooting, and they will have that advantage on towards them.
Exactly, and because they were a 4-man team, they should have maybe just pushed on through, maybe kept somewhat closer together, because even my theory, at least, is as a 4-man team, when you stay together as somewhat of a unit, someone might get a knockdown onto one of your team, but you're most likely going to be able to return that knockdown onto that single player and secure that frag. So even if 3D Max had have gotten knocked down as one member, because they would have stayed together, they most likely would have secured that frag and kept the advantage in their side from a man point of view. But they kind of split up. They hope for the best, and as you pointed out, the smoke grenades they threw out ended up being a bit of a hindrance.
Yeah, I think part of what kept them in the split situation was that so many nades were still coming their way, and they didn't want to have a chance of being completely annihilated in it. But I mean, gotta give it to Powerful. They were sitting in the open for the longest of time, holding off people all over the place, and they were succeeding in doing so. 17 kill victory for them. So they've had 2 17 kill wins now and a 15 kill win in the last 3 days. Or 2 days, make that.
Yeah, but I hate to say, I really wish they had gotten 18 kills, right? I really would have loved to have seen it. I would love to have seen them top the kill feed and top the points lead from that point of view. Either way, 2 teams in the bottom of the table getting 0 points, SEEKORG and MJ.
See how the top of the leaderboard looks after this. eXtatus once again not really able to find the form that they would have wanted. 3D Max though able to pull off decent numbers, 20 make that 12 points in total for them. But up top, Powerful, they were harvesting in the end of the game. Airwaves, they were able to pull off some decent numbers too, but it was Powerful that had it written all over for every single kill. Other teams got, well, they seem to get a whole lot more. Very, very, very impressive feat from them.
And simply simple. They got 8 points in that game.
Yeah, they're coming back in it. They're coming back in it for sure.
Going to put them ever closer. Yes, a couple of teams have put them to get a couple of points, but can't deny that they are definitely putting up a good fight. But this head-to-head between Powerful and 3D, and then damage leaders.
Yeah, I mean, Vansalik, he had a good game. He picked up that AOG and he made the best of it. Started shooting at everything and, well, I mean, started killing everything. 6 kills for him, 6 for Norgi as well. Airwaves and Powerful pretty much taking full control of the top 5 in kill leaders off of that game. Really, really impressive to see. 6 knocks, 6 kills, as even as it could possibly get. 4 of the kind for Hawk as well. Not going to be disappointed with that.
No, Airwaves did great for the time that they were in the game. They survived good few engagements, but either way, they got taken out. When they got taken out, that's game 2 over.
Yep, that's going to be game 2, guys. We'll cut it to a short break, and then Cormac and I will be right back with the next ones in a moment, so stick around. We'll see you soon.